Hi, my name is Jeff Kleinbeck. I'll be your mentor, your tormentor, your instructor, and guide through AERO 4613, the Aviation Safety Management Systems course. I'm one of you. I'm a LeTourneau alumnus, graduate of 1975, which is almost an eternity ago, and graduated from the aviation program there. Stayed on campus as an admissions counselor for a couple years after I graduated. And then shortly after that, Brian Benson and J.C. Harder and myself started the very first professional flight training program at LeTourneau University. So it's been gratifying for me to see the very relatively small program. We started out in late 70s, and to see how God has taken this program and just blown it up and grown to what it is today. So it's good to be back and be part of the aviation program at LeTourneau. Shortly after leaving LeTourneau, I went out into the aviation business world to learn a little more about the business side of it, and also kept my hands very active as as a flight instructor, charter pilot, and in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. In August 3rd of 1981, air traffic controllers, with the guidance of their union, PATCO at the time, decided that they had negotiated a really good contract with the FAA, which was long overdue, but in the 11th hour, they said, hey, by the way, we want a $10,000 raise across the board for every person. Well, at that time, Congress had forbid aviation agencies like the Federal Aviation Administration from negotiating pay. That was left to the Office of Personnel Management to do the negotiation of pay. So the FAA said, sorry, that's off the table. We can't negotiate that. So the controllers union said, okay, we're going to go on strike. Well, I'm not sure you knew this, but as a federal employee, as air traffic controllers are, it is illegal to strike against the federal government. No entity such as union is going to paralyze the government through a strike, so it is illegal. President Ronald Reagan at the time had no choice but by law and he gave them some grace and said, you've got three days to come back to work, or else I'm going to have to fire you. By law, I have to remove you from that position. And that's exactly what happened. So suddenly, I'd been wanting to get in air traffic control for years and just couldn't do it because the positions were full. Suddenly, there was several opportunities for me to become an air traffic controller, and I did just that. Shortly after the strike, I was hired as an air traffic controller. The FAA sent me down to Oklahoma City for training. They sent me back to Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I was very familiar with the operation as an air traffic controller. I spent the next 35 years of my life in air traffic control in various positions as a controller at Kalamazoo, as a controller at Chicago O'Hare Tracon, and then I moved into management positions up in Milwaukee, supervisor positions, air traffic manager, tower manager positions, several positions in Milwaukee. Moved back down to our Great Lakes regional office in Chicago in the air traffic division there, and eventually went back home to Minneapolis area. I was born and raised in Minnesota, so it was good to be home, where I was the air traffic manager at a small tower in the southwest corner of Minneapolis called Flying Cloud Tower. After about 6 years there, they asked me to come over to the large airport, the Minneapolis International Airport, and work at the air traffic control tower there and the Tracon. I spent the rest of my career there and finally retired in 2016 from that position. In my last 10, 12 years in the FAA, I got involved in the FAA's initiation of the air traffic side of safety management systems. I was invited to come out to a class at the FAA headquarters to learn about safety management systems and how we're going to develop it as an organization. Shortly after the class, the manager of the whole program called me into his office, and here's a Brooklyn born and bred manager who asked me, hey, well, what'd you think? I said, it's a great idea. I fully support it. This is long overdue, but it will never work out in the field facilities where I work. He took this large safety management system manual and sitting in front of him, he shoved it across the desk at me and he said, here, fix it. I said, wait a minute, I came to learn about this. I didn't come to fix it. He said, you're the only field guy I've got, and we need to make this something that's usable and relevant to a field facilities, or else it'll never work. I said, well, what you have now will never work, and okay, I'll help you out. That led to a 12-year career in staying in Minneapolis, but also working with FAA headquarters and developing coursework and developing the program so it was usable and practical to the field facilities. So I have a lot of passion around this subject of safety management systems and safety risk management, but much of my coursework and development has been on teaching practitioners how to use this. We're not going to try to do that in this class, but rather this is a broad overview of what a safety management system is, what drives us in aviation, and regulations that are driven from ICAO and also the Federal Aviation Administration, who is following ICAO direction, and how that works in our system now. So again, a broad overview on safety management systems. That's what we hope to accomplish. Well, a couple of things about this class. We're going to do this, open this class 1 week at a time. We have 7 weeks to do it. The classes are going to open at midnight on Sunday morning. Okay, so when you come home from church on Sunday, you can open up the class and start working on it. This, like I said, is a 7-week course and a lot of information, and it's very compressed. So I'm going to challenge you to try to do something in this course every day and not leave it till the end of the week. You will suffer accordingly. Your grades will suffer accordingly. So try to do something. All assignments are due the following Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Everything that's to be turned in has to be in by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. following the Sunday opening. And at midnight on the following Sunday, it'll be week 2, assignments start all over again. So again, a lot of information. We're going to be using our Safety Management Systems and Aviation book and several other resource materials that provided from either ICAO or the FAA, which we'll give you in PDF format. Okay, it's my hope and my goal and my objective at the end of this course that you'll understand what the concept of safety is. Ask you to try to ask yourself to please define that for me. That astounds many people, but more so how we as an organization can manage safety within an organization and how important that is. One of the favorite things that I get feedback from students is their devotional. I'm going to be doing a devotional again in the book of 1 John. I don't normally repeat devotionals, but based on feedback from students, this has become, they're telling me, is a favorite part of the class. I'm not sure what that says about me and the rest of the class, but the devotionals they just absolutely love. But what I'm going to ask you to do each week, I'm going to share some thoughts about that particular chapter in 1 John. Then I want you just to give me your very personal, gut-honest response to what that said to you. Don't tell me what it should say to me, because God is speaking to me, specifically to me through his word, but he's going to speak to you in a different way because you're at a different place. You are his creation. He is developing you at a different place. It is always so interesting to me in your devotional responses. Just simply tell me your gut honest response. Don't preach to me. Don't tell me what I should know. Tell me what God said to you. It is so enthralling, and it's such a gift to me to see how God speaks to each student in an individual way, proving to me that he knows you personally and knows where you are now and where he's taking you. So enjoy this devotional. Get engaged in it. Dig in deep on it. And I hope for some positive response when we're done. But it's been thrilling for me, and that's why I'm going back and doing 1 John again, because even though that was written by the Apostle John to several churches in the area of Ephesus that he helped to found, it's so practical for us today. Students are telling me how that spoke to them directly about where they're living. So dig in, enjoy 1 John, and we'll be doing a chapter per week. Okay, welcome to week 1 of AERO4613. It's going to be a busy week for you. You'll see the instructions for the week in Canvas. So I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you a little bit better and working with you on learning more about aviation safety management systems. Welcome aboard.